Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear sisters. Inshallah, we'll continue talking about the math types. We already took three types of math. It is the first one of them was the natural math, and we took two branches of it, which is the lesser connective math and the substitute math. And we said that these types of maths has no special reason. It is done because this is the way that the Arabs used to talk together. This is the normal way or the natural way that they are used to talk together, and that's why we call it natural math. And these are the branches of it: the substitute math and the lesser connective math. This is the usual way they used to talk, but now we're gonna take a new types of math, inshallah, which is gonna be having special reason. It is not the usual way that they are talking. It is something special for the Quran. Before we start talking about these types of math, I wanted to add the exceptions for the lesser connective math. We said that the lesser connective math is done after the pronoun ha. We apply the math with the waw or the ya for two counts if we have the conditions for this math fulfilled, which is that the pronoun ha should be presented between two moved letters, and it should represent the third person male. The exceptions for this is known words in the Quran. We just need to know in order not to be confused. The first one of them is on Surah Al-Furqan. Allah is saying, وَيَخْلُدْ فِيهِ مُهَانًا وَيَخْلُدْ فِيهِ مُهَانًا. Let's see here we have يَخْلُدْ فِيهِ. If you look to the pronoun ha in this word, it represents the third person male, but the problem that the letter before it is a second letter. And we said that in order to apply this math, we have to find the pronoun ha between two moved letters. But even we have a second letter in this word, we're gonna apply the math here, saying فِيهِ مُهَانًا فِيهِ مُهَانًا. So this is the first exception, that we don't have the conditions fulfilled, but we apply the math while pronouncing the word. So it's going to be fihi muhana, even if we don't have the rules fulfilled or the conditions fulfilled for applying this math, but we can apply it in this word. Fihi muhana. This is the first place. The other places I'm gonna be telling you is that we're gonna do the opposite. That we will be having the conditions fulfilled, but we are not gonna apply the math. And that is found many places in the Quran. And maybe you find some words repeated in different surahs, like the word أرجه أرجه وأخاه قالوا أرجه وأخاه وابعث في المدائن حاشرين. أرجه وأخاه. Here we have the pronoun ha, and it's found between two moved letters, RG, so the jim before is having kasra, and wa is having fatha. It represents the third person male, but we are not gonna apply the math. It's gonna be only أرجه وأخاه. So the wrong way is to pronounce أرجه, because we are not going to apply the math. It's going to be only أرجه وأخاه. We have these words, this word أرجه in Surah Al-A'raf. We'll find it in Surah Al-A'raf, and you'll find it in Surah Al-Shu'ara. The word أرجه, the same word. Okay. The other word is the word ألقه إليهم, and this word is on Surah Al-Naml. ألقه إليهم. Let's see here we have the ha, pronoun ha, found between two moved letters. The first one is the qaf having kasra, ألقي ألقه. E, the hamza is coming after the ha, also having kasra, so the pronoun ha is found between two moved letters and is representing the third person male, but we are not gonna apply the math. It's gonna be only ألقه ألقه إليهم ألقه إليهم. And it's not gonna be ألقه, but is ألقه إليهم. So the first word was أرجه, And this word alqih is found in Surah An-Naml, and this is the only word we have in the Quran for pronounced the same like alqih. The only place we have the word alqih is on Surah An-Naml. So we had now arjih and alqih. وَإِن تَشْكُرُوا يَرْضَهْ لَكُمْ. This is found on Surah Az-Zumar. يَرْضَهْ لَكُمْ. Surah Az-Zumar. Here the same thing. We have the ha, pronoun ha, found between dad, this is having fatha, and يَرْضَهْ la lakum. Lam is having fatha too. But I need to represent the third person male, but we're not going to say yardahu, we're going to say yardah lakum. It's going to be yardah lakum. Yardah lakum. So, yardah lakum, alqih ilayhim, arjih wa akhah. Arjih wa akhah. These are the exceptions we have. The first one, as I told you, was on that we don't have the conditions and we apply the mad. This is only in one word, which is fihi muhana, found in Surah Al-Furqan. And the three words I told you now, which is alqih, arjih, and alqih, all of them we have the conditions fulfilled to apply the mad, but we are not applying the mad. Now we're ready to start the mad types, which has a special reason. Taking the first type of it, which is the mad types under the reason of having a hamza coming after the mad letter. The presence of a hamza after the mad letter is the reason to apply these kinds of mad, and we have under these types of mad three types of mad. Maybe four types of mad. Four types of mad under the same title, mad types, because of the hamza, or because of the presence of the hamza after the mad letter. We remember that we apply the mad types on the mad letters, which is the waw, the alif, and the ya sakin. These are the mad letters. So if we have the hamza coming after them, so we're gonna apply the mad types depending on the kind of this mad. So the first type of mad types because of the hamza is the attached required mad. In the Arabic we call the mad al-wajib al-muttasil. Al-mad al-wajib al-muttasil. Required attached mad. Why we call this required? Because this mad should not be less than 4 counts. Should not be less than 4 counts. So it is required. It will not be accepted to do less than 4 counts. And why we call attached? Because we have the mad letter, which is, for example, the alif or the waw or the ya, and the hamza in the same word. We have the mad letter first and then the hamza in the same word. And that's why we call this attached mad. So we call it required attached mad. And the Arabic name is al-mad al-wajib, required, al-muttasil, attached mad. So if you find the mad letter and the hamza coming after it in the same word, so we apply 4 counts on this mad. And sometimes we apply, some reciters apply 5, it is accepted too, but we have to follow the same number of counts. If you choose to do it as 4 counts, so you keep on doing this all the time. So the chosen amount is 4 counts for the recitation that we're gonna follow, inshallah, is to apply as 4 counts. So we need some examples, like the word, for example, as-sama. You have the mad letter, the alif, and then the hamza in the same word. So we're gonna pronounce the alif, but we're gonna elongate it for 4 counts, saying as-sama. The same thing is ma. The same thing is bina. So we call this attachment. So we have some examples for the waw. For example, su. You have the mad letter as waw and then hamza in the same word. Su. So the waw, the mad letter is attached to the hamza in the same word. Su. What about the ya? Si-at. You will have the mad letters ya and then hamza in the same word. Si-at. Okay, good. So this, we call this the required attached mad. So how can we measure the counts? Actually, we have some students maybe counting them on their fingers. This is not an accurate way. The easiest and the most clear and the maybe the perfect way is to follow the reciter that you are listening to. If he's taking, for example, 2 seconds in applying the 4 counts, so you'll be taking the same time, because the counts that we are saying now is formed of, originally it is time. So if you are measuring the time the same like the reciter, so it will be the right thing. السماء سيئت. So it is not accepted to elongate more than 5 or 4, because we are choosing to do 4 now. Not accepted to elongate more than 4, and it's not accepted to make it less than 4. Okay? This is the first kind of mad because of the hamza. The second type of mad because of the hamza is, we call it the separate allowed mad. The separate allowed mad. The separate allowed mad. In the Arabic we call this al-mad al-jaiz al-munfasil. Separate allowed. Separate means that here the mad letter and the hamza it's not going to be attached, but they are going to be separated. So the mad letter is going to be in a word and the hamza is going to be at the beginning of the other word. So now the mad letter is separated from the hamza. That's why we call this separate mad. So why we call it allowed mad? Allowed. It is not required like the first one, because you can do it as less than 4. You can do it as 2 or 4 or 5 counts. So it can be done less than 4. That's why we call it allowed. So some reciters are doing it as 2 counts. Even it is allowed, but we're gonna choose 4 counts for this mad also, and we are not gonna change it. This is the reading that we are following. So if you choose to do 4, so you have to keep on doing 4, because every number of counts has its own rules. So you are not I mean, it is not accepted to change the number of counts, because every number of counts has its own rules. If you're gonna choose 4 counts, so this is the reading by itself. If you choose 2 counts, there's gonna be another reading for the Quran which has its own rules. Okay, so it is allowed to do as 2 or 4 or 5 counts. Now we have the mad letter in a word, and the hamza is at the beginning of the next word, like inna a'tainaka. You have the mad letters in the alif of inna and the hamza at the beginning of a'tainaka. Now the mad letter is separated from the hamza, so we can apply 4 counts. Inna a'tainaka. So 4 counts on the alif. Inni, if it's for the ya, inni akhafu alaykum. Inni akhafu, for example. Then is for the wow. Qu anfusakum. Qu, 4 counts, and then the hamza is at the beginning of the next word. Qu anfusakum. So we call this separate allowed mad. Is done for 4 counts, and this is the chosen number of counts that we're gonna follow, inshallah. Now we have 2 kinds of mad because of the hamza left. Inshallah, we'll be studying them together.